Heyo, and so welcome back to another video. This is my second time recording because my mic ended up being muted. Fantastic times. Anyway, I wanted to talk about generally Kingdom Hearts again for the first time within I think 4 to 5 years of the game being announced. Now, honestly, this game looks pretty ambitious and crazy. However, it's been so long where I actually generally lost interest in Kingdom Hearts 4 because we've gotten nothing but maybe a collage of screenshots because Missing Link was cancelled, and then this most recent trailer which gives us bits and pieces of new information but doesn't really give us kind of new things to look at. It's not that long either. The kind of issue is I wish they would have, I mean, it was probably unexpected that Missing Link would have been cancelled, but I would have actually preferred the second teaser during that period while the community was in a pretty big drought, and this furthered the drought with just releasing a collage of screenshots, and it just kind of disappointed everybody. While we got something, it still wasn't quite the best way to go about, especially announcing a game cancellation that would have had pretty huge lore implications for this upcoming game. So dropping something probably would have been the better move, or especially this type of a trailer, than putting it into the Nintendo Direct. That's just my personal thing, but Kingdom Hearts 4 generally is looking a lot more polished than it initially did in that initial trailer that we got, because if you didn't know, that was in Unreal Engine 4. Now this one is in Unreal Engine 5. The plus side with this trailer especially is if you look at it from the official Kingdom Hearts channel, it really does look like the performance is looking really good. Like, it's a solid 60, so I'm hoping that it stays like that, especially in gameplay, because the main thing with Unreal Engine 5 games is they're unoptimized hell messes most of the time. So I am a bit nervous with how the Switch 2 is going to handle the game, because my friend apparently tried the demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Nintendo Switch 2, and it wasn't that great for him, but it wasn't personally me that tried it, so maybe I might actually go ahead and try it at some point. Now, between this new trailer and the kind of the leak trailer that we got, it seems like, to me anyways, I could be misinterpreting everything that I'm seeing, but it seems rather there's some focus on darkness than, like, I guess Heartless, Nobodies, and Unversed in this specific title, because if you even watch Sora take down enemies within this game, like, hearts don't really fade away. While shadows have always kind of existed in the series, I guess we've really never learned of the embodiment of, like, I guess, darkness as a whole. While some of it was kind of explained with, like, Riku's side and Chain of Memories, but it was more so not the main focus, while the overarching kind of story is kind of, in a sense, not really the main focus of just darkness, if you will, because obviously we're trying to take down the main bad throughout every game, so you didn't really have the kind of focus like it seems like it's going to have in this game. And I could just be sounding crazy. It's been a while since I've replayed the games and kind of gotten involved with the story again, so don't mind me if I'm going crazy. And especially why I'm really excited about this story, it seems like Nomura is finally going to be able to tell his Versus 13 story within Kingdom Hearts, and honestly, the game just looks like it's more of a Final Fantasy game right now anyways. It's still up for debate if it'll still look like that once we go to other worlds, etc, etc, but it's definitely going to be a very cool game either way. Anyways, I do understand the title and the thumbnail is probably like the leak situation is crazy. We're finally about to get into that. I'm gonna probably timestamp the video so that if you didn't really want kind of my opinions on the kind of trailers that we've gotten already, but anyways, the leak situation's actually pretty crazy. However, I genuinely am more interested in Kingdom Hearts 4 than I initially was because of the leaked Missing Link cinematic. It's the issue that we haven't gotten information in so long. This kind of brings interest back into Kingdom Hearts 4 in a sense where, like, the game actually looks like it's going in a really darker direction, and it just looks so interesting with how they're going about doing this. And I really wish we did get Missing Link in some form. Sadly, we haven't yet, and it could be back covered from what some of the community members were saying, like it'll just be cutscenes essentially, than an actual title, which really stinks, because at the end of the day, I just think Square Enix's mobile game titles just should not be a thing anymore, because it's just such a waste of money and resources, because Ever Crisis just got canned, and not that I really played it. It was just cool that they were remaking the Final Fantasy games with the old style of the PS1 game, but with complementing it with newer graphics that also complements the PS1 game. So it just really stinks that now that's getting end of serviced. Along with Missing Link being canned, it just kind of puts salt into the wound that even a game like Final Fantasy VII can't like keep up and keep the game going with how much funds it was receiving. And obviously it was a gacha game, so it is interesting to see. But with how this trailer goes and just kind of the implications of it kind of expanding upon, with it expanding upon Scarlet Column and all of that, like, I am really actually excited to see where the story's going, along with potentially getting some form of Missing Link. But it's been kind of a crazy roller coaster, kind of seeing how the community is going about everything going on with the leaks and all that. So essentially, kind of to start off with, it seems like some random person from 4chan ended up leaking it, and it kind of just got out there. However, with that said, people were able to do some investigating and kind of realized, wait a second, I know that icon that was watermarked in the video, and then it was more apparent to see that icon when the full trailer ended up getting leaked. So with that said, from what they've tweeted, I'm not really going to show tweets here because I don't want to direct anybody towards the wrong way, and I don't want to come across like I'm actively promoting saying something to these people that might be involved or probably aren't involved, because they ended up mentioning that they didn't actually do it and someone's trying to frame them for it. While that is the case, I don't think the way you're going about things with like antagonizing the community with saying, oh, now you guys are interested in Missing Link, that wasn't probably the best way to go about saying that. I like, it kind of puts me off personally. Just from that standpoint of view, not to say that you did it or anything, it's just the point that, like, I don't think people are necessarily uninterested in Missing Link for the reason you think. I think people just weren't interested because it was a mobile game, while people are really interested in the fact that it was going to expand the lore of Kingdom Hearts, leading up to Kingdom Hearts 4. But with it being the kind of gameplay style that it was, it really didn't interest anybody, because when you think of Kingdom Hearts, you're not really thinking about Pokemon Go, and while there was some real-time action combat in the game, it wasn't really interesting enough because it was like still on the gacha mechanics of a mobile game. Personally, I just don't have the attention span to play mobile games, and along with that, the other issue with especially Union Cross and other mobile games that Kingdom Hearts has done before is the fact that the story took so long to catch up from like JP side to the west side, and not just that, it would take so long for updates to even come out for the story, where people just kind of dropped the game over time. So in that context, like, I do understand this was like an extremely ambitious project regardless of whatever they were going for. So that tweet kind of like I don't know what the point of it exactly was. It probably wasn't the best way to like start antagonizing things, if you will. That was the reason why it was tweeted. I could be looking too much into the tweet, and I could be meaning something that you may have meant something differently, and maybe I did miss something. But that's kind of the way I took it, and it's like, you know, I'm not sure, man. But obviously I don't think they uploaded the video, because obviously that would hurt the relationship with Square Enix, especially if this was being shared all willy-nilly. While it wasn't necessarily, I will say that it was definitely kept under wraps for a very long time. There is a argument to be had. A content creator may have had this footage from Square Enix officially, especially with how high quality it is, and like, it could have been leaked from an internal database, because that has happened with Square Enix before. Well, I'm still kind of unsure of the details on how the KH3 premium demo showcase that was at E3 all those years ago was leaked and had all of that kind of data in it that like you probably weren't supposed to see. I don't know if it was kind of from the same thing and then that's how they got this trailer as well, or a bigger content creator ended up having this trailer because Square Enix gave it to them, and this was kind of their approach to actively promoting the game and kind of getting ready for videos to get lined up for the launch of Missing Link, which is generally what happens with content creators where they get information early, and obviously if they say something, they're under more than likely an NDA where they can't say shit. However, Square Enix was actively taking down this demo, like anything showing it, so if the same leak came from that, I can completely 100% understand why nobody wanted to talk about it or even remotely share it. But it seems kind of partially unlikely that was the case just with how high quality this leak is, just playback wise, but I could be wrong. But one of the reasons I ended up leaving the Kingdom Hearts community for a bit was because of how toxic things were kind of getting, especially between content creators, as there was a push to police people about talking about leaks and making videos about them. While I don't think it's inherently a bad thing to talk about leaks, especially if it's a rumor and you can build your own kind of theory crafting off of that, even if it is wrong or right. I mean, it is, you know, the internet. People are going to be talking about it regardless if content creators aren't talking about it. With the situation we had, especially in the Persona community, that, you know, that same person was leaking kind of credible stuff, like really leaking that stuff. And I don't want to get into that situation again because that was a moment, but anyway, well, at least like this, it's also really hard to not talk about because there has been so much information in so long. So like ultimately, so with that respect, I kind of blame Square Enix for not talking about Kingdom Hearts more often than it kind of not really being left to the wayside, but kind of leaving this route where the community is going crazy. That's like if like between 7 Rebirth and 7, I think Revelations it's called, or Revelation, sorry, I might have the name wrong right now, but it's like if you didn't talk about that game for like 5 years later, your Final Fantasy VII fans, they would build a Mako reactor and probably blow it up. That's how crazy Square Enix fans get with their series. So I'm just saying, like, the Kingdom Hearts community is pretty crazy too. So I kind of understand the aggravation with there not being news, and while I kind of like see that just from being a fan for so long and not really being that big of a creator, the kind of issue that I have is people kind of attacking content creators because they knew something beforehand. I just thought it was common knowledge that even if this leak was floating around for a while or something in that regard, like, it's not something that people feel particularly comfortable with talking about because of the fact that it might harm your relationship with Square Enix, especially if what was being leaked was kind of like really crazy like this. But I don't think I have to repeat myself again. I just think this really did get out of the circle and was shared with someone who didn't really have the intention to keep it under wraps, if you will. Even though the thing has been kind of out there for a long time, it seems like it still is kind of nuts that this was still even out there to begin with. But at the end of the day, the only thing that I can hope with Square Enix going forward is they start talking about Kingdom Hearts more often, which the next event that Kingdom Hearts 4 seems to be going to be at is D23, which is really, really good. What I think is probably more than likely gonna happen is Kingdom Hearts 4 is probably going to be released by the end of 2027, just based on how early Final Fantasy VII Revelation is being released, and I could see them doing a kind of double whammy to kind of get their stocks back up, right? Because it wasn't looking good beforehand, but also with the Final Fantasy XIV expansion and this reset kind of era for Square Enix being done and over with, like, this seems like next year is going to be a really great year for Square Enix just as a company, and consistent releases that have consistent quality in them. So at the end of the day, I'm really excited, like, kind of for the future of more Kingdom Hearts news and just information generally of what's going on at this point, because it's been just such a long time since I've talked about it personally, and just how much information we kind of got now. I'm actually pretty full right now. Like, I can wait till D23 and be like, hell yeah, another trailer, another thing for Kingdom Hearts, right? So With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.